got a bunch of trees that I need to pot up, so I'm going to try and gather some raw materials for potting soil. And around here, almost everything is clay. So I noticed there's a spot in the river by the dam where there is a whole bunch of grit. So I figured I'd go dig some of that up and make that part of the potting soil. And we'll see what else we can mix in there. Here I am at the dam. Just on this upside here, where the river comes down over, is where I found the grit. I can go dig up. That looks pretty good. It's gonna take a little while to strain out. High work potting soil. The highest work. There's something nibbling on my foot right at this moment, and I don't know what it is. You know, dragging a bag of wet, gritty sand a half a mile up and down hills kind of makes you rethink your life. I should pick something else to do for YouTube. Maybe like chubby bunny competitions or something like that. Not dragging bags of grit up and down the mountainside. As you can see here in my little tree nursery, I've got all kinds of fruit trees I've been getting ready for whenever we buy our own homestead. And I have a lot of little ones down here in pots and cans that need to be potted up into larger sizes. Plus I have a lot of stuff in the compost pile I want to dig up and transplant. So mixing up the mix is what we have to do. And here's what I have. I have some old potting soil, corn cobs and rotten cocoa, coconuts, just the shells, a bag of grit that I just got from down the hill, some seaweed that I've soaked, compost from the compost pile, and in here I have a bunch of charcoal. So we are going to make up some experimental potting mix and probably mix in some more of the potting mix that I have over here. and just make something that's moderately loose and good to put some trees in. Here in the compost I've got some skin up trees. I actually would like to plant some of these, so I'm going to set them aside. But here's compost. It's nice. These big gnarly bits I can stick at the bottom of pots. A lot of this here. These look like baby citrus trees. Yeah, they are. Baby citrus trees. Looks like I'm gonna have to pot some more things up than I thought. I can't just kill them. Got to do something with them. All right, let's add some of our grit. From the river. Another skin up tree. Man alive. All right, river grit. That still looks like it has a lot of clay in it. I don't know that I like that. Might be a little dense. I'll see. Now I have some soaked seaweed. I've rinsed this out 3 or 4 times because you really don't want too much salt in a pot. You might be able to take it, you know, mulching around your garden with it, but too much? Nah, I don't like that. I've got some charcoal here, but it actually needs to be smashed up, so I'm going to do that. Let's throw some of this in from some failed previous experiment. Why not throw in some pieces of corn cob? You need to have a corn cob grinder, that would be nice. Obviously this is not seed starting mix. This is rough. Rough. And why not throw in some cocoa nibs? Hey, look at that. Awesome. I don't think these are going to sprout because they've been dry and rotten for quite a long time, so if not, we're going to have cocoa in every one of our pots. What a terrible problem. Alright, let's smash up some charcoal. That looks pretty good. Now I think we should put something nice and fertile to activate it. Alright, I got some of my compost, anaerobic compost tea here. I should probably soak this charcoal for overnight or for days or something, knowing how long it can take charcoal to soak stuff up. But I don't have that long. So we'll just give it a really good stirring and mix it up and then throw it in. Now, since it's way too much work for me to rip up the coconut shells that I have and tear them up into proper coconut core, this is what I do with them. I throw them into a bottom of a pot, take up a little space, soak up the water, fill up a little bit of space, and the roots don't seem to mind. Sometimes I'll throw 3 or 4 half chunk coconuts in there and then put potting soil around them and pot right on top. And as they rot and break down, they become soil. I don't have to think about it. Certainly not going to sit here and rip them all up because that's ridiculous. I have some rough, trampled up manure here. some leaf mold and stuff mixed in. It's pretty dry. Let's crumble that in too. Got a nice, interesting mix here. It's time to start dumping some of these old cans into it. Anything that failed. So we're not really starting all the way from scratch, but we rarely do. Alright, I'm going to dump that charcoal on there. Sloppy mix. That'll activate it. It'll activate something. Activate my olfactories. Alright. Throw in some of this. I have it laying around here. And these failed experiments, lots of roots, no shoots. That looks like some really fertile stuff. Maybe too fertile. It's beautiful. Wish my whole yard was like this. There we go. That's some crazy homemade potting mix. I'll let you know how this works out. I'm going to pot a few things up and we shall see how they do. It looks pretty loose. A lot of moisture in it right now, but I think it'll be plenty for them to breathe. I'd rather go a little too loose than too thick. It's good for the roots that way. Thanks for watching. Be sure to like and subscribe and catch me on the web at thesurvivalgardener.com. If you enjoy my videos, please share them all over the place. We're doing really well and I've got a lot of new watchers and new followers, so if you just have showed up, thank you for signing up. It's very nice to have you here. I'm not going to show you how to do everything by the book. I'm going to show you crazy experiments all the time, failures and successes, and all kinds of exciting things with plants and compost and soil and nature. Until next time, may your thumbs always be green.